Well, here we are, 2020, and some things have not changed from 40, 50, 60, 100 years ago. Kenny B, we had to do a smoke and mirrors in the middle of the week to address what's happening in this country.
Yeah, white lies and black lives. That's what's happening. It's been happening since the 1500s, 1600s, 1700s, 1800s, 1900s, the 2000s. It's nothing, it's not a Trump thing. It's not an Obama thing. It's been going on since George Washington thing. So go ahead.
Let me just say this. I appreciate your black drop behind you.
Mm-hmm.
That speaks volumes. So
thank you.
So apparently, Kenny, no one is safe. I'm not safe. You're not safe.
Right.
So we've heard about driving while black,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
We've heard about walking down the street while black. So apparently, bird watching while black is a new one.
Right.
All right.
So right.
Go ahead.
The common denominator is while black.
The wild black.
Wild
the last
black.
two pieces.
Right. Right. And that's sort of that's the
you could be going to heaven while black, and it's a problem.
Yeah. For some people. But the issue is, the question that I have, man, is why does this continue to happen? Not why does it happen?
Right.
Why does it continue to happen? And I think that the answer to why it continues to happen is a fear of saying why it's actually happening. Because when we say, we don't really address the elephant in the room, which is the racism in the realest sense. We say, America's doing this. America's not doing this. This ain't America. I'm American. You American. We ain't doing stuff like this. It's a specific American that's doing this.
Call it what it is. Call it what it is.
And we're afraid to say this is white people doing this. Period. This ain't America. This ain't the government. Keisha Lance Bottoms is the government. She don't do stuff like this. You dig what I'm saying? Barack Obama was the government. He don't do stuff like this. This is a particular type of individual that has historically treated us this way. And what I noticed about her is her mask. Last week, I was making a joke about how when I walk around in my neighborhood with the mask, folks are looking at me like I'm violating, right? Like they don't wear the MAGA hat. They just refuse to wear the mask. And that's their symbolism, I think, right? I'm looking at the body language of these people looking at me like I'm committing a crime for wearing a mask. So almost like they know I'm in a different tribe than them, mentally or philosophically.
I'm sorry, are you referring to Amy Cooper?
Yeah, Amy Cooper.
The woman over your right shoulder, Amy Cooper. Okay, cool.
But I noticed that she has the mask on. So that makes me think, you know what? She's probably somebody who we think is on our team. She probably would one of the pussy hat wearing ladies. She's probably all down for Planned Parenthood. She's probably the Trump supporters. I don't see that. I think those are the ones that aren't wearing masks. When I see a mask, I think I'm seeing somebody who doesn't trust Donald Trump, somebody who doesn't believe Donald Trump, somebody who's probably not looking to vote for Donald Trump. And this is what we have on our team. This is who we are siding with. And then they treat us this way, and we're more afraid of insulting them, the ones that are like them, than we are in really addressing the issue, man. You know, Muhammad Ali, one of the greatest men in the world to me, not because of what he did in the boxing ring, but because of what he did outside of the boxing ring. Not because of what he did with his hands, but because of what he did with his mind and his mouth, what he was able to express. And me being mixed, right? I'm of mixed parentage. I got a Caucasian side of my family and an African-American side of my family. Everything in me says, man, we just got to stay away from the white American society. Doesn't mean that we hide from them, but we have to come amongst ourselves, operate amongst ourselves, do business amongst ourselves, and get to ourselves. Our self-hatred, our unwillingness to live amongst each other, we put ourselves out in danger. Not because we should have the right to live anywhere where we want to live, but that don't mean that we put ourselves in danger. And we do that because we're separated. And because we're separated, there is no consequence to people when they do stuff like this. only reason she's getting consequences is because somebody recorded it. How many brothers do you think are in prison right now because of some frantic white lady 911 call and somebody got locked up? How many brothers have been killed because of something like that? So,
Right.
you know, why this happened, I don't care. Why does it? I already know why it happens. Why does it continue to happen? And that's on us. That's we got to do some introspection on what it is that's about us that won't allow us to stand up for ourselves. And we're going to talk about that some more with our brother.
Oh man, hey,
George
that's
Floyd.
yeah. Oh my goodness. So,
I'm
so
saying the combo of this is ridiculous.
same day,
Right.
different cities, different time zones.
Yeah.
So, as you relate to this woman, Amy Cooper, as she decides to use her white privilege to denigrate a black man, is there a less aggressive black man than a man that wears a shirt with a rainbow flag on it as he takes pictures of birds?
Yeah, that's.
She determines this man, I'm gonna call. She saw him recording.
Mm-hmm.
She told him while he's recording, I'm going to tell them it's an African-American man that's assaulting me and my dog. So oblivious to everything, the funny part about, because, you know, I always see the like, okay, this is awkward.
Yeah.
She's saying, sir, don't record me.
Right.
He's saying, please don't get next to me.
Yeah.
So everyone is polite.
Yeah.
He's saying, please don't get next to me.
Right.
Don't record me. Don't
Right.
go next to me. And she's
Right.
saying, you're violating me. I'm going to call 911.
Mm-hmm.
So she believes her trump card is, no pun intended, for real. I'm going to tell them. She announced as she was recording
Mm-hmm.
what I'm about to do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going to tell them that an African-American man is making me and my dog uncomfortable and assaulting me. He was like, well, please call the cops. And she called the cops. And when she first made the call, she was like, hi, I'm in Central Park. There's an African-American man assaulting me. And they didn't really hear her. So she decided to dial it up and sound more in distress. Listen,
Right.
how did you hear that right now? There's an African-American man assaulting me and my dog. And the dog is like, bitch, I can't breathe.
Right. Oh.
Right now, you choking me. I didn't say, take me back to the shelter.
Right.
The dog was saying. So the brother, Christian, was very relaxed. You know, call the cops. And she watched as he recorded her as she called 911.
Yeah.
So we hate the aftermath of her statement because social media to the tune of 3.8 million people within 24 hours, they responded to her statement. She said, I think I was just scared. Scared of what, Kenny? Right. I just want to publicly apologize to everyone. I'm not racist. They all say that, right? I'm not racist. I did not mean to harm that man or anyone in the African-American community. I'm not racist. My dog leash was black. I'm not racist, Kenny. Really,
you know what? They believe they're not racist because they vote with us. You know, I voted for Barack. That counts to a lot of people as not being. I don't call you the N-word, but what do you believe about me? What do you think about me? What are you willing to do to me? Now, I think in looking at this lady, she's crazy.
She's definitely crazy. Look at her.
And how did she operate in a professional environment where no one recognized her craziness? I don't know, but that's
and she was fired. She's been fired already.
Yeah. And obviously she's got some things going on. But the scary part about this wouldn't even matter. This wouldn't matter. That would just be some lady talking crazy in the park and no threat. The threat that's implied here is the police coming. And that's the problem.
Exactly.
It's not a matter of what she did, because she can do whatever she wants to do. The cops shouldn't show up and arrest him or harm him or kill him over that. that's where the bigger problem lies, is in the treatment that we receive from the police department in response to anything like that. If the police treated us fairly, she'd just be some stupid ass acting like a stupid ass. But she's threatening his life by calling the police. And that's a shame that that's how we have to operate in this society, in fear of the police. But that's not by mistake. That's not by mistake. That's
Kenny,
by design.
you from New York.
That's right. Bronx.
So you already know if this brother did not have his camera to film all of this, because you can hear in his voice, he's like, you know what? Please call the police. Yeah. And then when she did her Oscar-winning award performance, please get here right away. Mm-hmm. His response was, thank you. Right. Because he recorded it all. He knew this would go nowhere. So let's back up. If there was no camera that he had, mm-hmm. all they had was her calling, this is African American man, blah, 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 blah.
I'm gone.
When they get there,
he's gone.
Ain't nothing to talk about. They don't care about it. They don't care about his rainbow shirt. Right. They don't care about his binoculars. They don't care about who he is. What's happening right now?
Right. He better not be there when they show up, and that's what we do back then. So Kenny, he thought he would have been safe with the video, but the video might not have made him safe.
Kenny, this is a different show, man. I'm just saying. Mm-hmm. This is a different show. I put on my Facebook. I got 3 Facebook pages. Mm-hmm. On my main page, I got 5,000 connections. I won't call them friends because I don't know all of them.
Yeah.
I told them, if you believe the following, as it relates, and we're going to talk about what really happened in Minnesota and the treatment, how that brother was assassinated. So I said, if you say the following, well, we don't know what happened before, the camera started recording. One. Right. Or if you say, oh yeah, but he was smoking weed, and in 6th grade, he stepped on a girl's foot.
Right.
If you say any of that, if you entertain that, delete me as a friend. I ain't got time for none of what you're talking about. So this is the era that we live in. So Kenny, so we've been through Eric Garner, and unfortunately, the same hashtag applies.
That's right.
I can't breathe. And I see your black drop. Mm-hmm. So I'm real talk, Kenny, I'm gonna tell you right now. You my boy at 30 years. If I was there.
Don't say it. Don't say it. Here's the question. Because I already know. But here's the question. Because I see a lot of people posting on Facebook. Some people, what they would do. Never talk about what you do, just do, right?
Yes, sir.
The other side is, what would you do? What was somebody else supposed to do? And you don't answer that question with an answer. You answer that question with a question. What should you do in that situation? How many people were standing around there videotaping this, right?
Right.
What should you do? You got 4 armed police officers who are not pretending to be killers. They are in the process of killing.
Yes.
Human beings.
Real time killing.
Right in front of you, slowly. And not even distressed about it, not even sweating. Total calm, cool, collected. By the book. What should you do? What would you want the crowd to do if that was your son getting slowly murdered? What would you want that crowd to do if that was your brother or your father being slowly murdered? What would you want that crowd to do? And that's what you do. Don't matter if you do it alone. That's what you do. If you wouldn't want anybody to do nothing, then you do nothing. But if you would wish that somebody would have did something, if that was your son, your brother, or your father, or your husband, that's what you should do. That's what you should do. What we're witnessing right here is the Willie Lynch playbook playing out right in front of us, 21st century style. The Willie Lynch playbook was a tool. It's a tool. It's a guide on how to, whether you believe there was a real Willie Lynch or not, the process worked. It was a guide on how to break a people to keep them in a position of servitude. And you break the man from the woman, the relationship. You take the respect that the man naturally has with his woman or with women, period, by exposing to them that not only can he not support you like I can, he can't protect you from me. And the
Right.
way to do that is you kill him right in front of everyone's eyes,
Right. Right. Right.
in front of other men, so that your women and children look to your men and say, you can't
That's
do shit for me when that man comes after me. Keeping
right.
him in a position of master and you in the mental position of
Right.
servant. And
Right. So
we stay subservient even in the witnessing of our brother being murdered slowly, knowing that if that was our son, we would hope that someone intervened. That's
right.
us.
Okay.
That's
Right.
that's the Willie Lynch thing all over, man.
So I completely hear you, Kenny, and you are coming from a level that is so high as you speak to this. I'm not there right now.
Yeah.
I'm granular.
Okay.
All I know is that Derek Chauvin
Mm-hmm.
killed our brother George Floyd.
Yep. Kelly Chauvin, the Remax agent in Minnesota's husband. That's
Yeah.
the Remax agent's husband. Yeah.
Really? So he killed him in slow motion. And
Yeah.
if you look, and I apologize already for my my language that may come out, but this is passion. That bitch ass cop over your left shoulder,
Mm-hmm.
Derek Chauvin.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at him from the neck up, not in that picture you have, but in the video,
Yeah.
if you look at him from the neck up, he could be on his phone on Facebook looking at stuff.
Right.
You would never know that below his neck, he's killing a black man. He was so relaxed. Look at his fucking left arm.
Mm-hmm.
It's in his pocket. So this was not a situation. So I and you both, we both know police officers. Every cop is not bad.
That's right.
I have friends of mine that are police officers in Chicago.
I have family.
I
members.
love
That's
them
right.
as brothers.
Ditto. Right.
So I don't know the percentage, if it's 60-40, if it's 40-60, or if it's 30-70, but every cop is not bad.
Mm-hmm.
But this piece of shit ass coward, if you look at his left shoe on his boot, it's wedged down to make sure that he can get the very most leverage on his knee with his hand in his pocket as he pushes down on his knee to make sure I'm going to put all the pressure on this black man's neck. So this was not a situation. As I watch, Kenny, you know me, I want to believe the good in everybody. So I can watch this over and over again and think, okay, this has to be the moment where he's going to say, you know what? Let me take my knee off his throat, his neck. He never does for 9 minutes. And I'm going to tell you this, Kenny. This bitch-ass punk cop, Derek Chauvin, by the way, he's had more than 3 run-ins over the last 12 years.
Yeah.
So he decided, if you look at the video, look at the calm in his eyes. So this is not like a Rodney King, like, we've been fucking chasing you for 3 hours, going 90 miles an hour. We can't believe that you. There was none of that.
Yeah.
Because if you watch the entire video, they went to Brother George's car, and he got out of his car. He never put up a fight.
Yeah.
They put the cuffs on him, and they put him on the side of the building, very similar to Eric Garner, and they talked to him. So then they walked him across the street to the car they're going to put him in. And at that point, this bitch-ass cop, Derek Chauvin, decided to do what he decided to do. So it was not like, the adrenaline was pumping. There was no adrenaline. So he put his neck, his knee on the back of his neck, and he was very comfortable. So I'm going to tell you this, Kenny, and you know me for 30 years. If I was there, I would not have been recording like, hey, y'all give him a chance. Let him up, Kenny. To my family and all those that love me. This is what Patterson would have done. So there was another officer there. I think his name was, he was a Vietnamese guy, Tom Teo, something, whatever. Yeah. I would have announced to him and the bitch-ass cop that I really hope that he goes to jail and gets ass raped by very big black men. Is that wrong? Cool. All right.
Yeah,
All right. Anyway, so I would have let them both know. Listen, you are about to kill this man. He's in handcuffs. He is not resisting. I will not let you kill him. What I'm about to do is stop you from killing him. I don't have a weapon. Don't shoot me. If you want to tase me, whatever. But I'm not going to let this ovary having coward ass bitch cop, Derek Chauvin, kill this man. So I would have ran through the little Vietnamese cop and I would have knocked that dude over and wait to see what happened. I cannot sit back and watch this happen because we cannot rely on the government. We can't, voting is important, but we cannot rely on other folks to do what we need to do as Black men to say we cannot let, this is not the norm. So listen, Kenny, all right, I see you. We're military men. So you mean to tell me there's nowhere, they didn't train you all. No one said in training, all right, guys, hey, thinking about when cops go and they report, think about Hill Street Blues. All right, guys, so this is what's going on tonight, today, this is what we're doing. If someone tells you, I can't breathe, you should probably back up. They didn't have time to cover that from Eric Garner. The man told you for 6 minutes, I can't breathe. Don't kill me. He told him this.
This is
wait. The other 3 cops, no one said, hey man, I see you having a moment right now, but you may want to get your knee off his neck and move it to his lower back. Nobody said that.
Why not?
As a Black man, fuck all y'all. I'm about to stop this. Whatever happened gonna happen, but I ain't gonna let it happen.
Why didn't they stop him? And then
because there's a code of conduct
and why
with police officers.
And that's why they lied. That's why they lied, right? To the public about what happened and that he died later. But why did they have to see? Because something that you said caught my attention. That this is not how they're trained. This is obviously how they are trained, because it happens like clockwork every single time. This is not a one-off. This is part of the system, and they have a system for making sure that there's no consequence for this, which is why there's no worry. See, this goes back as well to that whole hiring a bunch of people, hiring a bunch of cops, putting them on the street to chase super predators. That's us. They still killing us. This is how they're trained. So it's there's something that we got to do. And here's where I get a little concerned about us. You ever see the TV show Westworld?
Yes.
Where they got this fake town. For the folks who haven't seen it, it's an HBO show or whatever, and they've got this fake town you can go visit, and all these robots are there, and they're programmed to give you an experience, right? Because and they're programmed to think and react to certain situations in certain ways. And I can't help when I watch that show but to see us, because we're programmed to do that, to be the same way. We don't do what's in the best interest of us. We do how we've been programmed, and it's like we don't even realize that we're living in this crazy bizarro world where the rest of the whole planet. Can you imagine this guy doing that to a Chinese man in the middle of Chinatown?
Are you referring to Derek Chauvin,
That's
the
right.
coward that put his knee, decided to put his 197-pound knee on a Black man's neck? That guy?
Yeah. Would he do that to a Chinese guy in Chinatown?
No.
Nope.
No.
Would he do that to an Italian man in Little Italy? Nope. Because there'd be
Kenny,
consequences.
He was so comfortable.
There'd be
with
consequences, right? And so were the 2 cops that were behind the car with him. They were all comfortable with it.
They looked away.
They're comfortable with it because we don't make them uncomfortable with it. So you're making the right point.
So what should we do?
Look, what would you want somebody to do if that was your son? That's what you're charged with doing. That's what we're all charged with doing. I'm telling you,
if I was there, it would have been different. That's all I'm saying. I don't know what would happen to me, but it would have been different. So I know you talked about, and I know that you're on fire about making the right political decisions. So we need to vote. And as it relates to voting in the state of Minnesota, the Attorney General, Keith Ellison,
Mm-hmm.
is a black man. They call him black Mexican American, whatever.
Yeah.
He's a black man.
Yeah.
And he said, no, we're not going to do this. So he's going to try this case.
Yeah.
The police chief,
brother,
Mariano Arellano, he's the black Mexican. Keith Ellison is a black man. So the police chief is a black man. And they said this has never happened, that 4 officers have been fired on the same day. Not after they went into and they investigated, the FBI came in. They were fired immediately. So your vote, you're saying about what Puffy was saying, the vote is so important. So we cannot let this be the norm. Look at this bitch ass cop over your left shoulder. If you look at the video, his face said, "Hey, let me go on Amazon and see what's anything for sale." So his face was so casual. There was no aggression. There was no stop resisting.
Mm-hmm.
He positioned his knee to make sure that it was not on his back, but on his neck. So I have 2 requests. I want to make sure that he gets tried with murder, and secondly, that he gets ass raped by many black men in jail. If that's wrong, shit, I don't really care right now, but that's what he needs in his life.
Yeah, he'll be a champion in the Aryan Brotherhood.
No, he's going. No, listen. Yeah. So the Attorney General,
yeah,
is a black man. The police chief is a black man. He's going to jail. I don't see this falling between.
Okay, if he does line up in prison, he will be aligned with the Aryans, and brothers won't get around him.
No,
but
they ain't.
Between now and jail, there's a district attorney and a grand jury between now and prison, and a judge, and a prosecution.
They don't want none of that smoke or that heat. This is not Eric Garner. This is not any other case. We watched this man slowly for 8 minutes assassinate and kill this man with confidence.
But
this is different.
When she's on the jury, when she's the juror, she's the district attorney, that's the problem that we run into. Remember, George Zimmerman went to trial, and everybody was celebrating that something was going to happen. But we had a black president and a black attorney general of the United States and a black head of FEMA and a black surgeon general and you name it.
Right.
But this system is so corrupted against us that we can't look outside for help. That's my point. We have to stop looking externally for help. The help is not outside. The help is inside. We are the solution to our problem. And it's just a matter of how much do we have to endure before we would rather be amongst each other than away from each other. Maybe it's just we got to be that afraid to be around each other so that we want to move back. But we've got to live amongst each other. That's the only way we're going to be safe, because this has been going on for 400 plus years, man.
All right, so Kenny, you bring up very good points. So this bitch ass coward cop, Derek Chauvin, that decided to rest his knee on our brother's neck for 9 minutes. He already has an attorney.
And a GoFundMe, probably with $1 million in it.
Oh yeah. So the attorney is Tom Kelly. So if you know who Tom Kelly is the same attorney that represented Geronimo Yanez, which was acquitted in the murder of Philando Castile, also in the same location. So what are the chances that he gets an attorney that also represented another man, police officer that killed a black man?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's really important.
We had a video of Philando Castile being murdered, and he got off. He told
the cop, "I have a license to carry."
That's what I'm saying. And the murderer
it's in my glove box. All of that.
And the murderer got off. And that's why I'm not so, that's what I'm saying. I'm not as excited about this guy getting arrested, or even the rednecks in Brunswick, Georgia, Brother Ahmaud's killers. I'm not as excited about them getting arrested until I want to see convictions. And that's when we'll know something has changed. There's no
Kenny, Ahmad was
convictions.
that was debatable. Nothing
No,
is debatable about this. There's
Philando
nothing to
Castile.
like.
Philando Castile, nothing was debatable.
You're right. You know
Eric
what?
Garner,
You know what?
Eric
You're
Garner,
right.
nothing was debatable. Tamir Rice,
You know what? You're
nothing was
right.
debatable.
You're right. You're welcome to America. This is America.
Right. That's the point. And we have to wake up to that bullshit, man. We run around like these Westworld robots, acting how our programmers want us to behave, but not taking care of each other. We taking care of them for free.
Look, man.
Black vote ain't free. The black vote ain't free.
Right,
you ain't voting for me, you ain't black, motherfucker. Black vote ain't free. What you got for us?
So
started this shit.
As it relates to the black vote, again, I believe that this bitch ass coward cop, Derek Chauvin, will be charged for murder because Keith Ellison, the Attorney General for Minnesota, is a black man. The police chief is a black man. Because we took the time to vote, so the vote is important. And even the mayor of Minneapolis,
Fry.
Jacob Frey, Jacob Frey, Democrat, and he instantly, he didn't like, well, let's take a look at the no, this is not, we can't support this. They were wrong, and so
because that's the shit they peddle. That's the shit they peddle, because that's what they offer us for their vote. Oh, look at what those Republican boogeymen are gonna do.
So
to you.
They weren't genuine.
Wait, man, this cop has been on that mayor's payroll the whole time. He's been under that police chief the whole time. Who trained this guy to be this way? The other 3 cops didn't know what to do. Those are the only 4.
Kenny. This was different.
Those are the only 4 that would have pulled this off. If it would have been 3 other cops with him, this wouldn't have went down. Or this would have still went down with just 3 other cops with him. It's the same shit every time. And we act like it's a one-off, and it's not a one-off. It's not a one-off. We got to stop pretending that the government is going to protect us from this. The government is the one who did this. That's a badge he's wearing.
Right. So wait, hold on.
And then the government protected him. Had there not been a video of this, this is dead. This isn't going anywhere. The story is homeboy.
Yeah, you said we had videos of Eric Garner, and that didn't go nowhere.
That's what I'm saying. If there's no video, this is not even any charges, is what I'm saying. The ones that don't have videos, those don't even get talked about. That doesn't even get discussed. Unless there's a video, we're lying. Unless there's a video, we're lying.
Kenny, something about this is just different, man. As we talk about this, and I look over your left shoulder, and I see that bitch ass cop, Derek Chauvin, with his knee on that black man's neck. So you and I play ball in the Navy. So Steven Jackson, NBA player, he called this guy twin because they were friends and he looked alike. This guy was well known in high school, college, playing football, basketball, all of that.
From Houston.
So Kenny, newsflash, this could have been Kenny B.
That's right.
You didn't wrote a bad check, but I'm just saying, whatever. They could have felt threatened by you. This could have been me. If I was there watching this, I don't know if I would be here the next day. But I do know that I would not let that happen.
That's the right way to be.
Announce to them calmly and respectfully, listen, this is what's about to happen. I need you to stop doing this. And if you don't do this, I'm going to do this. And I'm not worried about what's going to happen after this, because I cannot watch a black man being murdered and killed by this bitch ass cop, Derek Chauvin. So he will get ass raped, hopefully, by a lot of black men, okay? Or killed, or hopefully he'll commit suicide because he does not want to go to jail. But something about this case is just a little different than Orlando Castillo, Eric Garner.
Philando Castillo.
Thank you. Yeah. It's different than every other case because we got a chance to watch it in high definition video as he slowly killed this man.
It's just new.
With confidence.
It's just new. It's new and it's fresh and it's in the.
He's looking down. Look at the picture. He's looking down to make sure. Let me make sure I put my knee on his neck in a
Right.
good point.
Right. It's the same way they killed Eric Garner, with the big guy pushing his hands down on.
But they could fake in that situation. They could fake like, oh, he's resisting.
And
oh, he's a
and
big guy.
Here's
We're
America.
fighting with him.
Here's America. Who's the mayor of New York? Right. What's the big lurch looking dude with the black wife and the black kids? Whatever. De Blasio. Right.
Yes.
You know the brother who filmed Eric Garner being murdered. You know that he's still in jail since then, right?
They jailed him this long.
Yeah, violated him and running him through the ringer with legal issue after legal issue to harass him, and that's allowed to go on because he's the one that caused the trouble. So they you know, the system is not our friend. It's just one side smiles at us and the other side snarls at us, but they both mean to devour us, man. And the proof is in the pudding. We watch it. It's just a matter of how much longer do we have to endure this before we realize it. We were talking the other day, right? What did I say? That it's not, I don't think that white racists hate us because we're black. I think one of the things that bothers them the most is because we're punks. And this is what motherfuckers do to punks. This is how you, this is what, I'm not calling this brother a punk. I'm saying us as a people, that with all of those people around watching, it could have been prevented, but it wasn't. And the calmness that you say that this guy was doing this with, right?
Which guy?
Not the coward Derek Chauvin.
Oh yeah, look at him, he's chilling.
But look how calm he is in front of all these other black men while he's killing a black man.
With confidence, and his partner decides like, I'm gonna go ahead and stand in front of him and shield him because and real quick, so as our brother George is dying, he says, I can't breathe. And the other bitch ass cop, the guy says, he can breathe, he's talking.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Yeah. Nope. Nobody said they were smart. We're not hiring the smartest people to be cops, right? So
they didn't sign up. They didn't. Yeah, smart.
That counts as breathing for some people, but that's the, you know, the issue is us not being willing to stand up for one another and stick together. And united we stand, divided we fall. And we're the only divided people on this planet. We're the only divided people. We're the only ones that look in the mirror, and everybody else comes to America. Before they come to America, they look in the mirror and say, I'm gonna find people that look like me, and then they're gonna go live amongst them. The African American, we look in the mirror and say, I'm gonna find people that look like me, and I'm moving away from them. And this is in a large part a contributor to this specific type of situation happening to us over and over. Why does this continue to happen? Not why did it happen today? Why does this happen over and over and over? It doesn't mean we're not allowed to live in good neighborhoods, but the problem is that we are not a united front. We're the slap versus the fist. Fist wins every time. Fist wins every time. And if Pat Hudson would have been there, right? Amongst
that shit wouldn't happen. Bro, I guarantee you that, kid.
Bro, amongst 15 other people, amongst 15 other brothers that were not Pat Hudson, right?
Don't worry about them.
Right. Pat Hudson may have charged that, and Pat Hudson and this brother may have wound up with 16 40 bullets in them, and
it would have been different.
And the story though would have been that they were under attack and yada yada yada.
Listen, I would have announced, hey, listen, this is what's gonna happen. I need you to do this,
bro.
The world is watching you right now. Your life is over tomorrow. I will not let you kill him. So this is what I'm gonna do.
America is conditioned to allow this and to accept this and to view anybody who tries to stop this as the problem, as an aggressor. That doesn't mean we're not supposed to. And my point, my argument back to you is that I'm not telling you that you're wrong and that's not what you should do. That is exactly what you should do.
I would have hit him like a linebacker, and his ass would have been upside down.
If there were
after that picture right there.
If there were 10 brothers over there, it should have been 10 brothers hitting him like a linebacker.
It just took one. It would have took one. The little Vietnamese guy would not have stopped me. I would have put him on his ass and walked away.
But
and he upside down, figuring out what just happened. And then somebody was, okay, now this brother can breathe now. I'm just saying.
Still don't mean it should have been 10. It should have been 10. It should have been all
10 we're recording. World Star got 10 different videos
That's right.
of everybody recording doing this.
Right.
Oh, hell no. This is crazy. Let my man up. This is some bull, man. Oh, let him up, man. Let him breathe.
Is that how you would define self-love? High self-esteem? High self-image?
Man, look.
No, right? No. But now had that been a brother on a brother looking at the wrong brother's girl and say something slick, oh, it's a different story. It's a different energy that comes out of us. So we're our own worst enemy, and we're our only salvation. We got to figure out which one we want to be.
That's a great segue. So let me just say this. So if you are watching this and you like what we're doing, follow the page, like the page, share the page. Wishing You Would. We will give you everything uncut, uninterrupted that's happening right now in the news.
You said the sponsor, Wishing You Would.
So Wishing You Would is our sponsor.
You said like
so
the
thank
page,
you, Kenny B.
like the page, Wish You Would.
So Wishing You Would is our new sponsor.
Right.
But Smoke and Mirrors.
Smoke and Mirrors.
Smoke and Mirrors gives you the very best in what's happening right now in current events, uncut, uninterrupted.
So here's a different perspective that I want to put before you, PK.
Okay. Why am I PK? Why gotta be a PK?
Right, because I want to ask this question. We tend to break things down into groups in this country, right? Gay, straight, trans, black, white, women, males, right? Everybody got a group. Muslims, right? Christians. What is up with this Christian on Christian violence? You know, had that been a bunch of dudes in hijabs trying to kill that brother, folks would have been more apt to attack somebody else. But Black Christians are getting killed by white Christians all of the time. Reading out of the same book, go into what's the most segregated time of the day in America? What's the most segregated hour in America? What do they say? 11 o'clock on Sunday morning, right? When the black people go to the black church and learn God.
White folks go to their church.
And white people go to their church. But we all call ourselves Christians. So where is the Christianity in what we're seeing? And where is the Christianity in our response in real time and afterward?
So I hear you loud and clear, and I think we should address the Christianity response this weekend.
Yeah, where's the clergy? Where's the clergy?
All right, so yeah. So I think we should address that. So thank you for reminding me that Wishing You Would is our new sponsor. However, for you all that are watching Smoke and Mirrors, like our page, follow our page. Wishing You Would is a new sponsor. If you want to know information about them, we will include a link here on the post.
Great
but
stuff.
Kenny, I think you should talk about not just what we're talking about here as it relates to what's happening, but we talked about what we can do as Black folks to make a difference. Number one, is it about the vote? Number two,
it's about the money.
Is it about the money? Is it about the vote?
So you know what? Yeah, let's talk about that on Saturday. There's a blueprint. There's a roadmap that's been put together for us to follow that has proven effective in community after community after community. I'm glad to share that information with what it is. It's just a matter of implementing it within our own community. But the reason, and it's not difficult, the reason we don't implement it is because of our self-image of ourselves and of our brothers and sisters. We have to stop being our biggest hater, our biggest doubter, our biggest barrier, and start being our biggest champion, our biggest supporter. I don't care how much, I'm doing my social distancing. I'm doing my mask thing, right? But best believe I did go out and support some Black business while we've been in this downturn to make sure that they stay around. I don't care if you charge more. We got to support one another all the way around. And these types of things stop happening. These types of things stop happening.
So that's what I want to talk about. What right now can we do? Because because Black Twitter, social media, we will hashtag the death out of anything. But clearly, it's deeper than a hashtag.
Yeah.
Does it stop at the vote? So Jesse Jackson has come out of retirement at 78, and he's ready to fly to Minneapolis, and he wants to talk about what I mean. So what? And this is rhetorical. So what is it that we really have to do to make sure, Kenny? We learned one thing in the military: we can deal with any situation, anywhere in the country, in the world, at any time. So you're telling me there's nowhere in your training as a police officer where you determine I need to extract my emotion from the situation in 2020, where this bitch ass cop sees cameras on him. Mm-hmm. He should know, like, oh, this may be viral by tomorrow. Mm-hmm. But for 9 minutes, he makes sure he adjusts his knee to the back of our brother's neck to ensure that all this weight, and look at the picture, when you take your left foot and you twist it down where your toe mm-hmm. has more pressure on it and your hand is in your pocket, you chill it. I'm going to make sure he gets all of this. Yeah. So what can we do to stop that?
Gotta stop being
or can we not stop the mindset of perennial racists? That's who this guy is. I'm just saying if Pat Hudson was there, it would not have happened like that. You know, I know we're running long, Kenny.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of a person for being a racist. I'm not afraid of a person for being a white nationalist. I don't begrudge someone from being a Chinese nationalist or just don't get in my way when I'm being a black nationalist. That's it. No, they're not stopping me from doing me. I don't care to stop you from doing you. If you don't want to do business with me, that's fine. Just don't get in the way of me doing business. I don't fear racism. I don't have a concern about what a racist is going to do for me because I'm not depending on a racist to feed me and feed my children, right? That's what we got to get out of that kind of those kinds of predicaments and be able to depend on, rely on, and support one another, man. You know, we people ask all the time, we talk about voting. You know, well, what is the black agenda then? What all right, Mr. Smarty Pants, give me the black agenda. Why do I have to give you a black agenda because I don't want to vote for someone who doesn't have a black agenda? Why do I have to have the perfect black agenda? And the leadership issue, it goes back to the point that you were making a second ago. You sparked a thought in my head about leadership in our community. And where is our leadership? We're told who to follow. We're told who the leaders are. When something goes down, who do they send in to come and quiet the crowd? Who do they send to quiet the crowd? When you were talking about Jesse Jackson, that's what brought the thought up. When shit pops off like this, who do they send in to chill us out? The Al
Only black people have leadership. Only black people have
the Al Sharptons. Well, everybody has leadership. Everybody has leadership.
Name the white leadership. Name the Korean white.
It's not my
only black people have a black leader.
No, everyone has a respect for the elders in their community.
Name the Hispanic leader in the country.
Well, look,
ain't nobody. The black folks they determine for us that black people have a black leader. Whether it's Jesse Jackson or Al Sharpton, only black people.
I'll take that point. Yeah.
Put labels. No one person can speak to the desires or the passions or what we need as black.
By leader, I mean influencer.
Okay.
Who can influence us and who's in a position to influence those who are doing injustice to us, right?
Okay.
Who is in a position of power, not necessarily authority, okay? Who has the ability to push us into a direction or prevent us from going into a wrong direction, understanding from a higher level of what is waiting for us or what is possible for us, where decision makers are concerned, as far as legislation and media and business, right? So there are people who are in position to assist us on the whole. Whether or not they step into that role as with leadership is one thing, but whether or not they step into that role with leadership is one thing, and they don't is another.
Right.
We have people who we put on pedestals, African Americans who we put on pedestals, who are amongst the legislative class, the political class, the media class, the mainstream media class, and they have influence there. But instead of using their influence to help us, they use their influence to help themselves by controlling us. Al Sharpton shows up here in Georgia when there was some shit that went down, and rather than deal with the issue, he has everybody marching out in the middle of the damn street, blocking traffic on the expressway. What does that have to do with
That was
America's
great.
will?
That was great in the 50s.
That's what
Doesn't
I'm
work
saying.
now.
And
Yeah.
that's we've got to figure we've got to change our plan. We've got to have an agenda that is ours, that is
Right.
specific to improving the lots of our children's lives. And that goes back,
Right.
that's my point on voting. If you're not helping my son, and if
Yes, sir.
or if your help is I'm not gonna be as bad as the other person, because that's what lesser of two evil is. Don't sell me on a motherfucker because he's not as bad as the other motherfucker. I don't want bad, period. I don't want bad, period. You want this spoiled apple, or you want this spoiled pizza? The apple don't have mold on it yet, but it's spoiled. It just ain't as spoiled as that one. You want this cup of bad milk, or this cup of bad milk that's a week older? I don't want no bad milk. And that's what we keep getting fed, and we're told that those are the options, and then they get in office and put people like this on the street and protect people like this. Amy Klobuchar, the number one vice presidential running mate candidate right now, in front of the pack. When she spoke to this, she didn't call the brother out by his name. She came off with that, oh man, we just can't be having African-American lives being ended in such brutal fashion. This brother has a name. His name isn't African-American. His name is George Floyd. And he was a human being. And he was murdered in cold blood, slowly on the street in front of a whole bunch of terrified, frozen, petrified black men. Why were they so damn scared? Because we've been trained to be that way. Why? Because this shit keeps going on. It's not new. And until we change, it won't change. That's all I'm saying, man. It's on us, and we got to expect something for something. We keep giving it away and get nothing back. Nobody respects you, man.
We can't give nothing away, man. So let's do this in closing. This was not a scheduled smoke and mirrors. So we thank you all for watching this. Like our page, follow our page, share with your friends. And what we will guarantee to give you is current events, truth, lots of reality, and some humor, uncut, uninterrupted. Kenny, in closing, can you, I know you were an analytical guy, so can we talk about America taking a knee with Kaepernick and this bitch-ass coward cop over your left shoulder taking a knee? The analogy as it relates to how America is on this side, you cannot take a knee until like it's okay to take a knee. I'm just saying, is that not time for that? I'm just saying.
No, that's again, man.
That's when the knee is okay. All right, I'm sorry.
How many brothers is watching the NFL every Sunday, in spite of Colin taking the knee for us, and then this happens? We don't support.
All right, so we're going to support, and I want to stress this to our listeners. Make sure you vote, because again, the Attorney General in Minnesota is a black man. The police chief is a black man. The mayor is a Democrat, not a black man. So your vote, like Kenny was saying, is important, and what Puffy was saying is important. So it's important to vote. So thank you all for following our page. Kenny,
I don't agree that.
What part?
That it's important that we vote. I think it's important that we vote and get something back in return. I'm not giving you shit for free. So Democrats
are you
know
telling me
that they can have, you got one vote for Pat and you got one possible. This is like if a game of spades, you got one and a possible over here. But you fuck around,
spades?
You fuck around, this possible's not gonna walk.
All right, so cool. All right, so you're telling me, you know what?
It should be possible.
Well, I don't like what y'all talking about. I'm gonna sit it out. Okay, fine. If you're gonna sit it out, what are you gonna do in lieu of sitting it out? What are you gonna do to advance the vision of our people? If you're gonna quote unquote sit it out.
Okay, so if you imagine the voting for either candidate as one sled pulling you off the cliff fast and the other sled pulling you off the cliff slowly, I'm trying to not tie you to either sled. That's what I'm not attaching myself to either sled.
Kenny, society will tell you, all right, so whether it's wrong or not, society will say to you, if you don't vote, you don't have a choice. And those are our traditional Black leaders. Al Sharpton says all the time.
Right.
You have no vote, no voice.
Yeah.
Your vote is your voice.
Yeah, so you say, but if I vote for someone and they're not speaking for me and they're not speaking my language, my vote is his voice. That vote ain't my voice. I just empowered somebody else. And what do they give me in return? See, we keep saying vote. What are you getting back for voting, Pat? What are you getting? This happened under Barack. What did you get from Barack? What did you get from Clinton?
That is a great ending point, because this weekend we have so we have a lot of thankfully, thank you all for listening and following. So we have a young lady, she goes by Nina, that follows the page and the videos, and she's like, oh my goodness, I cannot believe that Kenny said what he said about Barack. I want to come on the show. So we will have her on the show this weekend, and she wants to talk about what you said about what she got for her vote for Barack for 8 years, and what you said he didn't do, and she wants to chat with you about what he actually did.
Bring it on. I followed Barack around the whole country selling Barack Obama bumper stickers at every speech he was given. I was bought into Barack while all the other Negroes were sitting around, sucking around Hillary's tit. So I don't want to hear nothing about he was down with Barack first, with all that Hillary milk all over your damn lips.
Hey, for a minute, you look like Barack. I'm like 2009, y'all look alike.
But when you come out and say, I'm not the president of Black America, well, then, player, all right, good looking out there. But you're still a great example. My son lived 8 years with a Black president. I will always be thankful and appreciative of that. But policy, man. And we can talk about policy all day. And I'm looking forward to it going down. She's going down.
Well,
Whoopi Goldberg style.
I don't know if she's trying to WWF go down.
Oh.
I think she just want to talk about what she believes that Barack did for us. I'm just saying. He told y'all, hey, I'm not a Black president. I'm a president of America.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about legislation. But
Smoke and mirrors.
Saturday, Sunday.
Just stay tuned
on the YouTube. Like and share, please. Cost you nothing.
Thank you all for following our page. All right, so George Floyd was killed by the Minnesota Police Department. So that's what we want to end with, and remind you that this bitch-ass cop, Derek Chauvin, decided to slowly take his life in front of America. And that's what he decided to do. And he will pay for this. I have faith that it won't be swept under the rug, and I really hope and pray that it goes beyond just being fired, and that the FBI is investigating now. And I think this is that one case, Kenny, where they want to make an example.
I hope so. I hope so, man. And everything we talk about here, whether you agree with us or disagree with us, understand that you'd be hard pressed to find two people who love Black people more than these two men that you're looking at right now. And
anyway, I'm sorry.
Everything we're talking about comes from that spirit.
Did we toast tonight?
We did not.
All right. No. Check our time. What's our time? Where we at?
It's a wrap.
All right. Toast to empty glass.
Right on.
Smoke and mirrors. We will see you all this weekend with a special guest that wants to talk and discuss Barack Obama. Kenny B.
Holla.
Take him home.
Peace. Love you, Black people.